I'm Louann Gentry. I am the volunteer coordinator for North Central Florida team in North Central Florida. I knew Debra Harrison from where I worked previously at Florida Gateway College. I had worked closely with her, and I just always admired her for her diligence and her compassion. So when I heard that she had retired from her position, I wanted to contact her, and I said, "Hey Debra, come work with me. This is amazing. You'll love it."
And actually I told her I had been praying about opportunities to serve. And so I started the process in August, and I was able to, in September, start serving here. And that was just various duties. I covered the desk when they had their team meetings, but we weren't able to visit because of COVID. And in March, they released that, and I was able to start visiting my first patient.
We had a patient that the social workers were a little concerned about, who was shut in and didn't have local family. So I asked Debra if she'd be interested in that for her first patient. She went, and she started going twice a week.
She was a very, very sweet lady, and I had social visits with her twice a week. And we sat out on her little cubby and we talked about all kinds of stuff. In our talks, learning about my patient, I found out that she had lost her husband years before. She had had 2 daughters, and they had both passed years before also, so she was just literally by herself. And then there was one week I couldn't visit. I got an email because her caregiver had developed COVID, and so I was not allowed to go visit her that week. And so the next week I called to schedule a visit to say, is it okay, can I come? And then I found out that she had been put in the hospital.
It was during an upturn of COVID, so I wasn't sure whether or not Debra would be able to visit her, but she said, let me try. This is really important. I think she's alone and she might be scared, and I just want her to know we're here. And so she drove all the way from Lake City to Jacksonville and our Douglas Care Center for Caring, and she worked with the crew there. The team there is amazing. She told them what she was about, and they said they saw a need for that. So they fully outfitted her in PPE.
And Louann let me know that now that she was over in the Northeast region, that she was actually not my patient anymore because it was out of our district. But I told Louann she had been my patient for 6 months, and we had developed a very good relationship. And she also had dementia too, and so I knew that she was probably scared in a place where she didn't know anybody. And I told Louann, I'm going to see her. I'm not sure if you'll even get credit for it or not, but I'm going to go see her because she's my patient. And so I went to Jacksonville, and they allowed me to see her. They made me suit all up because they said that she had COVID, but I didn't care because I knew she needed a friendly face. She needed to know that I still cared and I still loved her. And so I went, and I was able to visit with her for a solid hour. I sat and held her hand. I was all masked up, so I didn't even know if she knew me. She just kept staring at me because she was so lifeless. And I just got my phone out and I showed her videos of the kids, and I showed her things that we were doing, and the way she smiled and tried to lift herself up to look, I really think she knew who I was. And I stayed with her for a solid hour until she fell back into a deep sleep, and then I left. And then it was the next day or the very following that she passed. So I was very thankful that I was at least able to go share a little bit of love and care with her before she left this world.
That's what we need. She has the compassion for people. She looks for people and ways she can help them. She's always been proactive. She's talkative. She's friendly. She is a strong person. So she doesn't get drawn into the sadness. She looks for the good. And she brings a cheerful presence to people when they're in their struggles. And she figures out a way to make things better.